When you see a plastic bottle cap, what's the first thing that comes to your mind? Quick, convenient, and cheap hydration, or another piece of plastic that will end up polluting the planet? Well, you might think, or just one plastic bottle. However, throughout this speech, I hope to change the way you look at the plastic. 1,500. What do you think this number represents? That is the number of plastic bottles being thrown away. Can you guess how often? Every minute, every hour, every day? No, every second. It is not just the bottles that are being thrown away. The caps on the bottles are being thrown away too. One day, after a nice surf session, I was walking back up on the beach and I stepped on a plastic bottle cap. So I decided to look for more and collect them. And within 45 minutes, I found more than 140 plastic bottle caps on the beach. I was really surprised that I found so many in such short time. And I wondered where these bottle caps go. So I asked the guy in the warren on the beach, and he said that he just throws them away next to the warren. And at that moment, I knew I had to find a solution to it. Have you guys ever seen cans on the ground? Not too often, right? Because people called Pemalung are collecting them and turning them into money. However, you see many plastic bottles everywhere. That is because they're worthless per kilogram. Aluminum cans are 15,000 per kilogram, which is about 65 to 70 cans. PET bottles are 6,000 per kilogram, which is about 90 to 100 bottles. As you can see, there's a big difference in price and amount, which is why something get collected more and the others. In 2016, about 485 billion plastic bottles were produced. And in 2021, about 583 billion of these plastic bottles were produced, which will equals to about 72 bottles per person a year. That may not sound a lot for individuals, but it is a huge problem. According to National Geographic, only about half of the waste generated in Bali has been well managed, both recycled or transported to landfills. And another half of the waste is retained in water, environment, or burned. As a result, 33,000 tons of plastic waste ends up in the ocean every year. And how many percent of the plastic do you think is recycled? 30%? Maybe 40%? No, way less than that. Only 4% of the waste is recycled. 4%. We all know how bad plastic can be for marine life, right? We've all seen pictures of turtles choking plastic bags, birds full of plastic in their belly. But did you know what happens when it further degrades? Plastic is basically a chain of molecules, and when it's exposed to sunlight, UV radiation starts to break down that chain and make it to smaller molecules like methane and ethylene, in a process called off-gassing. Both methane and ethylene are greenhouse gases, but methane is especially bad because it's 25 times better at trapping heat into atmosphere than carbon dioxide. This is why I wanted to just do something about this problem and raise awareness. So I started thinking about what I could do with these bottle caps. I wanted to make something useful and what I use every day. And I came up with the idea of making surf fins, which you can actually use. First, I thought about making a metal mold. So I went to the hub to see if it is possible. But in the hub, they said it is not possible to make them because surf fins are too big and it costs $500. Then I came up with the idea of melting the bottle caps and turning them into plastic board and sanding it. So I started working on it. First step, I shredded the bottle caps that I collected from the beach, which was very easy. However, the second step was very hard. It took me a few tries to actually make it. First try was too small, and I had a bumpy surface, so I was not able to use them. Second try had many holes and snapped. And third try was bended, and I was not able to use them. I was lost, but Pakistan told me to lower the temperature of the oven and take a longer time to melt. So I did. I set the temperature to 120 degrees Celsius and tried again. And it worked. Then I moved on to the next step, which was tracing the shape of the fin on the plastic board. That's it. But I had a problem. After sanding it, it was bendy and felt like it was going to snap any moment. Luckily, I just started Pokali's class about bioepoxy resin, so I put the resin on my fin, and boom. It worked perfectly. Here's a cool story. When I was done making fins and testing those fins to see if it actually works, I lost my left fin because I forgot to screw it in. If you're a surfer, you might have experienced losing your fins just because you forgot to screw it in. When I lost my fin, I was really upset. But guess what? I found it a few minutes later floating in the ocean right next to me. Then I realized that it floated because it is made out of bottle caps, HDPE, which stands for high density polyethylene, and which what most plastic bottle caps are made out of. If you lose normal fins, it is almost impossible to get them back because they sink. Anyway, I noticed at the local surf school that they needed some fins, so I decided to donate my fins. Because maybe, when they use my fins, they can think about not throwing it away. I hope my fins can make people realize what a cool thing plastic is. And I thought my project was finished, making fins out of bottle caps and donating them. However, there was one thing that made me curious, which was why. Why did my HDPE fin floated? So I dug deeper and I found amazing facts from Pak Xiao Nino from Mira Putihijao. It's an organization that works with regional and national governments to create practical waste management solutions. He told me that not many people collect plastic bottle caps because they think plastic bottle caps are worthless. And they mostly collect just cans and PET bottles. However, HDPE, or plastic bottle caps, worth almost as much as cans, and the price is going up more and more. He also said that he has a buyer looking for HDPE. The reason that the price is going up is HDPE is very recyclable and has great properties. Many big companies are investing in HDPE recycling plants, mostly in Java. By 2024, 3 very big ones are going online and will be operational in Java. The companies that produce plastic are being mandated, governed by the buyers like Unilever, Procter & Gamble, or Coca-Cola, to supply plastic packaging that is at least 50% recycled. HDPE recycling plants. That's a wonderful news. We still need to ban single-use plastic or other things that are killing our planet. However, people are starting to realize the value of plastic. Like most people. Up until this point, I thought bottle caps have no value, and I thought I had found a fun way to turn something of no value into something useful, such as fins. But I was wrong. The word plastic came from the Greek word plastikos, which means capable of shaping or molding a mass of matter. Plastic are meant to be that way, and over the years, people start forgetting about it and not knowing the value and throwing it away. When I realized this, I realized that people's ignorance is the problem, not the plastic. Certain plastic like HDPE and other thermoplastics are precious because they can be remolded again and again and again to create something better. Looking back at my fins, the leftovers are not to waste because I can just melt it down and use them again and again and again. I made fins because I'm a surfer, but maybe my brother can make cooking tools because he likes cooking. The possibilities are almost infinite. What do I do if the fins break or if my brother's cooking tool breaks? No need to worry. I can just melt it down and remold it again and again and again. My project was no longer about making fins. It was about showing how we, the people, can make a real difference by changing the way we think about plastic and the way we use them. We humans can communicate, share ideas, learn, and inspire each other. Like some plastics, we can reshape and adapt and remold into something better. I want us to become more curious, more creative, and more plastic in the way we think. I want to end this presentation by thanking IHEB team, Ibu Angie, Pak Francis, my friends, and of course, my family. Thank you very much.